Yes, I'm wearing a snapped ankle shirt, which is very bright because today we're talking about painting. We're talking about technique. Just wait for it. Welcome back on Laughing Museum. My name is Cedric. Thank you I don't know what I'm moving all around today, right? Thank you very much for watching Laughing Museum. I was just saying, we just make a very quick point on technique. That point, I want to thank that lady one day who said in one of the comments on my review, because I'm a tour guide on the Louvre. You can check my experience on Airbnb experiences /434. And that lady says Cedric doesn't know the difference between tempera and tempura. So just so you know, tempura is a meal, a way to prepare food, which I love, by the way. And tempera is a technique, which is simply to dip the pigment literally into some sort of preparation, which could be based on all sort of link, such as egg white, but they also use the yellow of the egg. And that lady that day was telling me in the Louvre, yeah, you don't know anything about anything, they never use the yellow. Actually, they did. It's technically quite complicated, and I have to be honest, I didn't want to get into a debate that day, so that's an homage to that yellow egg that I'm wearing my snapped ankle t-shirt about that violence and the beautiful Katie Bates right there. And big up to my friends at Snapped Ankle, which is a fantastic music band, by the way, that I've seen both in London and in Paris, and I support you guys. Crazy, you guys are fantastic creators, so do not hesitate to listen to Snapped Ankles. Back to tempera. Tempera, so basically 3 colors of nature: yellow, red, blue. You mix with your egg white, and next thing you know, you got that tempera. 2 problems with the tempera: you can only put 1 layer. Second problem with the tempera: you can't erase. Try it at home. Break an egg white on a piece of paper. Try to get the piece of paper like it was before. It will never happen, and you know that, of course, right? We will move in the 1430s with the Van Eyck brothers. Is one of a typical work of the Van Eyck brothers, with the oil technique. The oil technique, which was already kind of present, if you want, in the tempera. That's very important, because I like to think, and I'm not the only one, thank God, that oil painting was kind of an accident per se, you know, like the beautiful accident took tarte tatin in France, for example, which is a tart that had been missed on the floor by mistake, and I had beautifully, and the guy said, oh, I'm going to try to do it per se. Anyhow, my point is, this kind of mistake is probably coming from the fact that when a tempera painting was finished, some painter used to add an oil finish to it, right, to protect the tempera from getting hurt from the elements, right? And probably by doing that, they realized you can actually use that oil painting as an element to link the pigment, which will lead somebody like Leonardo to invented the sfumato. That will probably lead to the chiaroscuro as well. Good example of chiaroscuro. With that beautiful Leonardo painting right there, La Belle Ferronnière, which is still so full of mysteries, that is absolutely a joy for that, of course, right? It's really important for me to imagine that came from an accident. That's really one of the beauty of life. I think accident, the more and more that I'm working on my book philosophy right now, I'm writing book philosophy, is accident is really how human beings evolve. I mean, do not make your life only nothing but accidents or mistakes or whatever, but I don't think any human being can go without accident. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was watching a play, and on that play it's a story of a guy who became president of France, and for some reason he can't say his speech, because every time he says his speech he got hitting his nose and he can't speak, right? And that's something about the fact that that's a joke, because that's about the fact that he's lying and that he can't lie anymore, so he's became a politician, they have to tell the truth 24/7, something like this, right? And so that was kind of an accident for him, and that's why psychologists and psychiatrists are very interesting in that, as we all lie to ourselves in a way. But that's why I think geniuses like the Ninja Turtles and Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Raphael, of course, are very interesting, because I think by experimenting a lot, for example, I'm always taking that example of Raffaello, the angel, there used to be just heads with wings on the side, and slowly they will move to the most famous painting. It's famous, that's how famous it is, by Raphael, which became the worst napkins and the worst pizza place in the world. My point being, accident is really an essential process, right? That biopic by Ed Harris on Jackson Pollock that I've been watching for a very, very long time before getting deeper into Pollock and the critics and the whole scene behind this. Pretend that Pollock makes some drippings by mistakes, which he probably didn't, because he was done by a female painter before. My point being, it's still part of an accident, and that's why I love abstract printing personally a lot, because there's a lot of accident in the process of creation. I think that's absolutely beautiful, and it's very interesting the fact that even in the Renaissance, the most fascinating time in the history of the world, to me, we move from tempera to oil probably by mistake. One last thing about Leonardo, and I'm showing the Vitruvian Man because Leonardo was not looking like this bald man with a beard. We know that for a fact. So he was more looking like the Vitruvian Man, long blonde hair and no beard. Leonardo, as technical genius he was, really wanted to make the oil painting work on wall, and this is a fight that he actually lost with the famous lost battle of Engari. I'm showing you some example right there. We'll never find that painting, and God knows a lot of people have been looking for it, hundreds of walls everywhere, and it's definitely lost for good. That was a bit of a technical point. Thank you so much for watching. No matter what you do, don't forget, if you're not doing it with a smile, that means you might be doing it wrong. You guys take care.